Okay, hello everybody. We're going to jump right in. We got the first match that we have between Jonathan Brostoff and Timothy Gruneich. Jonathan is playing the blue-black Stiflenought deck, while Tim has a pretty sweet blue-green Madness deck that also includes a Bull Rush Shapeshifters combo. So
we couldn't. These guys are so excited to play Modern that Premodern that they just jumped right in. Looks like John's a little mana screwed here, huh?
Well, the Stiflenought deck usually does okay on a low amount of mana because it only needs 2, really. But when we're at this point, so what was he stifling?
I think he stifled the Survival of the Fittest activation.
Okay, so he was discarding Squee. Okay. So chat, I was playing around with audio stuff. I want to get some feedback from you guys. If everything sounds good, could you let me know in the chat? Or if there are things that we can look to try and improve, that would also be appreciated. But we're glad that we have people watching and that it seems like everyone's really excited for the pre-modern tournament. We have 47 players that made it out to Madison, Wisconsin. And we're very excited to do some coverage, and I think a lot of the people are really, really excited to play this format. A lot of this is the first time that they've played pre-modern, so it should be really interesting. I'm here in the booth with Brian Kowal. He's the owner of Misty Mountain. That's where we're playing. And you may have I've been on stream a couple times with BK, but he's been really getting into the pre-modern format. And what have you enjoyed about it, BK?
Well, I just love playing with all the old cards. I love playing with to me this is like video game players, like the old ones, like just really get annoying, like old NES games. This is what it feels like because like they're just like such fun games, you know. Then there's like people like playing Atari, and those are like the 93 and 84 people.
All right, so we do see Jonathan's trying to execute his game plan of he's casting Phyrexian Dreadnought along with the Vision Charm, so it's going to get phased out, and next term it'll be coming to play. Oh, but Tim has the Gilded Drake at the ready, so some nice tech that's in the main to deal with this Dreadnought when it comes back to play.
They are playing lightning fast. This is I don't know if we were ready for this.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, like things, I've been felt really rushed, like getting everything set up. So hopefully, when we get in the tournament, then things will feel a little more relaxed. We'll do a little bit more introduction to the players of the decks and things
and
will
the
maybe,
format, and
so,
everything. Yeah, we got plenty to talk about today, and I'm so excited about this format. I'm so excited that I was able to get this tournament to really blast off. You know, like I was hoping to get like 20 people. We got 47.
Yeah, I was a little worried at first that we weren't going to have very many, and then it kind of like one person convinced like 5 of their friends, and I feel like that happened like 5 or 6 times, and then we just have a really nice showing.
Yeah, I think a few people got interested, and then they started putting decks together, and then they were like, "Oh my God, I gotta get some people in here, you know, like let's get some games going."
I know some of the Madison people they're like playtesting, they're learning the format, and they're like trying to get a feel for things. Because I mean, you can look at a paper deck list and like have an impression, but sometimes like your modern day Magic kind of leaves an impression of how the games went, and when you start playing them, you're like, oh, there are some different things that happen in pre-modern. Like the card advantage is a little bit feels different, and like tempo is a lot different in pre-modern than it is in modern day Magic.
Yeah, like my friends, kind of tournament grinders, like Lewis Kaplan, Ben Rasmussen, Jacob Aga. They I think they tested about 4 times in the last week, just for this thing. So it's always good to see people put some effort in, you know. It's 16 to 18 right now. Good idea. Get our life totals up.
Yeah, get that going. I'm gonna try and fix some things in my layout.
These two are some vets too. Tim Gruneich, a longtime PTQ player. I've honestly played Magic against. He's from Iowa. I've played Magic against him since like the late '90s at least. John's an old friend of mine, but also is mostly known as just the king of Cube. He has been the Cube trophy leader.
Pretty much anytime it comes on
upwards of 10 times. Like almost every single vintage Cube that's happened in the last like 3 years, he's been the top trophy getter. And he loves old cards. He loves all this stuff. He's playing my Stiflenought deck too. Although he messed it up. he really wanted to play Mox Diamond, so he threw before Mox Diamond in.
Oh well, that's gonna be. I mean, tough. I mean, that might explain some of the mana issues because there's not that many lands in the Stiflenought list to begin with. So
yeah, I mean he didn't take out any lands for them.
okay.
He treated them like the Dark Ritual they really are. So Tim,
I think we're at end of turn. And he's gonna look to untap and play the Gilded Drake. I think that's where we're at.
I believe John has a foil ready for him, though.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens there. Tim's in the tank, trying to figure out the perfect creature to get.
Well, anytime you have survival, they're like the world is your oyster that you can do so many things. So here we see Phyrexian Devourer, which typically not in your blue-green Madness deck, and that's because Tim does have the Vorash Shapeshifter, Phyrexian Devourer, Triskelion combo that he can get. So he just has, I think, a singleton copy of each of those.
Yeah.
And he can look to find them when the time is right and just kind of have a lot of explosive reach that normally you would not see out of a blue-green deck.
Yeah, I don't think John's ever seen that card before. Quite possibly. He really read it.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like you read that card, and if you don't know, if you haven't seen that card, you're like, I don't know what's going on. Like, if you look at Phyrexian Devourer, you're not going to understand it on its face unless you've seen what it does together. So.
For sure. So Tim definitely getting the combo set up. I love the idea of just playing the three of them. Those three cards in any survival deck with blue.
Well, you were pretty high on just playing Survival of the Fittest in your Blue-Green Madness to begin with, right?
Right, yeah.
So the opportunity cost of just those three cards is not very high.
So first he's going to open with a Gilded Drake for the Dreadnought. This is, that's good bait. John's got an Impulse, an Island, and a Phyrexian Dreadnought in hand. I'd Impulse here.
Well, I'm trying to think if this does get countered, like what is as he tries to put the Gilded Drake in play.
Yeah.
Like, does he have enough time? Because he would just die to the Dreadnought, right? Like, he doesn't have enough toughness. Okay, so he does Impulse. And it looks like the exchange has happened, so you get a Gilded Drake, I'll take a Phyrexian Dreadnought.
John almost wins this race with the Gilded Drake.
I guess.
Because Tim's at 6.
Well, I have to imagine there's a wonder in this list, like with survival in play. So
that could be. But sometimes you forget the easy answers.
Yes. So the root wall is good in.
It's like Tim takes it.
Okay.
John concedes.
All right. So the Gilded Drake was enough, and that'll the toolbox of Survival of the Fittest comes through, and it's always nice. I mean, Gilded Drake's one of those cards where a lot of matchups it doesn't do anything because there are a lot of creatureless decks in Premodern, but when you want it, it's very good.
Oh yeah, it's like one of the best possible. It's also a little out of one of the harder cards to come by for this format.
Yes.
Because it was never gold bordered,
Yep.
and it's.
Did you end up picking one up? I know you were looking.
Yeah, I found one. I found a pretty cheap one.
Okay.
That's I'm trying to think of who's. You know, it might not be in anybody's deck.
Okay.
I think I was gonna lend it to my friend Rob, but he didn't use it. So it'd be kind of funny if I would have had one in John's board. He could have draked it back.
All right, so the players are sideboarding up for game 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Blue-Green Madness is kind of like the traditional Blue-Green Madness. There's not usually very many cards that you would look to bring in against that type of deck.
Yeah, I think it's a hard card it's a hard deck to board against.
Yeah, I guess. And then, I mean, we do see the element of like the combo. It didn't necessarily get executed in this game, but like maybe someone would be tempted to bring in like Graveyard Heavy, but I am not the biggest fan of like that kind of angle unless like a deck is really focused on using the graveyard. Like it is the reason that they win. I don't like bringing in cards like Tormod's Crypt against like a deck like Brigand Madness, but that's my take. Do you like those type of cards? Is that the angle you like to fight, or do you just say I'm gonna try and execute my plan and make them react and kind of ignore like trying to get value of like removing a wonder or a squee from this deck?
I like I like Furnace against Blue Green Madness, but I'm not. I don't think I really love Crypt. That's this version of Blue Black Knot that I made that John's playing does have 4 Lim-Dûl as well, so it can you can kind of bring in some single copies and solve your problem with it if you have to. So we do. I also have 1 Perish on the board, which is going to be pretty big here.
Yeah. So Wild Mongrel, he can change colors. So
is that right? Well, it's not going to kill the Wild Mongrel or the Aquamobiles.
All right. Bring up our card fetcher so I can get this ready. I guess I didn't have it for the first game.
No Black Lotuses in either deck.
At least
they can't see that, can they?
Yeah, they can.
They can.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, they can. Yeah. Yep. Oh no, I brought the wrong one.
What is that card?
Oh no.
I've never.
Like, there we go.
Oh
no,
my god.
That looks a little bit better.
I'm sorry, chat. That was embarrassing.
Yes.
I didn't mean to. We didn't mean to show you that hideous border.
I'm fine with
Yeah. Honestly, I don't.
A magic card is a magic card.
I ain't gonna gatekeep
I would
either.
say like, yeah.
I love the aesthetic of the old cards, but
yeah, I do too.
Play,
also, like when you have a deck that is fully old bordered, it is something that kind of looks cool together, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna.
But play pre-modern. Don't let the borders get in your way. The game's fun because the interactions and the gameplay are really fun.
Yeah, that's what I like. I mean, like, yeah, there is the aesthetic appeal, but the gameplay is really what drives me to this format.
And no over Crypt. Ron Diggity says. We're not going to put the deck list up because it is a private deck list event.
Yeah, at least until the top 8 will be shared with the players will know what they're playing against since we are streaming.
I don't think it
That's
would
typically
cause a
what
problem.
we do, but
we can probably put the deck list up. We don't have them ready yet either.
I'll try and enter stuff in, but I've got my hands full right now, so
yeah, trying to keep everybody entertained. Just fidgeting with a lot of things. Nice.
Things that make sound is probably not the best to fidget with. All right, so players are drawing their opening 7 for game number 2. So now that Jonathan knows what he's up against, I mean, you can be. I guess there's Dazes typically out of the Blue Green Madness deck, but you can be pretty aggressive. I guess Naturalize is also a card that you might fear of spending a lot of resources just to put the Quick Dreadnought in play just to get it destroyed.
John has the Quick Dreadnought in hand. Not a turn 1, but
it looks like he does have an Underground River. I was gonna say it looks like he's missing a second mana source.
He put a swamp in the bottom, so
okay.
I figured he'd be all right. Those gold warders are hard to see. Oh, he's got the Daze too. The full Monty here.
All right. I mean, that's part of the reason why you play the deck is for these type of sequences that you can just present a powerful Dreadnought, and then though like really keen players might take like a hit of a Dreadnought. Like if you have Naturalize here, you might play around Daze. I mean, it is a little scary because 12 damage is a lot, but and I guess it also does give them the opportunity to like untap for Counterspell or something. But all right, so here we see the Dreadnought and Vision Charm.
He phases it out.
Yep.
Do you like Vision Charm or Stifle better?
It's really interesting because there's a lot of situations where I don't know which one is better because there are.
It's situational,
yes,
right?
and
But which situations do you think come up more?
I think I think Vision Charm actually is the better, like it's more versatile, I guess I would say, but it is
That's
really close.
that's game.
Yep. So I mean,
I shouldn't ask that question.
yeah,
That answer was just going to take longer than the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had 7 copies to play, you'd play 4 Vision Charm, 3 Stifle.
yes, I think that's where I would be on. Do you have a different opinion?
I think I agree with you. I think I slightly nod to a 4th Vision Charm, but I will say that if I play 3 and 3 main deck. If I was going to board one more, it would be the Stifle.
Okay.
You know?
I guess so. I mean, the biggest plus on a Vision Charm is if you have a Dreadnought that's already in play and they have a removal spell that the Vision Charm protects the Dreadnought. I think that's the biggest draw to the Vision
definitely.
Charm. I mean, the best things is Stifle, because this deck doesn't, like, I can't see myself using a Stifle on a fetch land over my opponent.
What if you have a Daze in your hand?
Okay, maybe. And then, like, I guess, like, a Powder Keg activation that's appealing, but, like, I'm trying to think when Stifle, like, really shines, like, protecting the Dreadnought, or kind of... Because the Dreadnought deck, I think, is so good at, like, presenting a threat and, like, putting, like, being the aggressor, we'll say.
The Stifle does not protect the Dreadnought unless they Tabi Orangutan.
Which, I mean, like, is not unheard of. I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a card that's in Tim's sideboard or maybe in his main deck that he could go fetch. I mean, probably most of the time
I'm sure there is a copy of this.
Probably you're probably gonna get Gilded Drake more often, but even so, I mean, it still does the same thing. So. But I guess in that situation, Vision Charm also would do fine against those cards. So I don't know. I don't know if that's more of a. It's probably just a nod to Vision Charm more.
Listen to this Midwestern answer. Where are you from? How far did you travel? North Liberty, Iowa, 3 hours. Because in the Midwest, we measure distance by the amount of time it takes to travel somewhere. John did the same thing, 1.5 hours.
I mean, I would have put time.
Yeah. I guess nobody knows how many miles it is, right?
Well, I mean, it like, especially if you get down to a city, like, the amount of time it takes to go in a city could be very variable.
Sure.
Yeah, Ron, I guess it took me a little bit of time to realize that, but yeah, I think Vision Charm, even in our situation, is just better than Stifle.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think we were more trying to find the corner case. His favorite Magic deck of all time is Ray of Command, Tim's. I don't even know what that deck is.
I think the impression was card. I think is probably how he interpreted.
Well, we
the
asked
question.
favorite Premodern card. He said Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah, did not know Ray of Command.
But he thought it was card. He started playing during Ice Age, so he's been around. His deck is blue-green and teched out.
It is teched out. It is.
John's favorite Premodern card is Recurring Nightmare.
Oh, well, he's a good candidate to win our...
He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's actually a state representative.
Yes.
For his district in Milwaukee. His favorite deck of all time is Enchantress Stacks.
Stacks. I've never seen it.
It was like, I think it was an Urza Black constructed deck. I think I remember this deck from back in the old VGC Milwaukee days. Shout out VGC, and it was basically an Enchantress deck, but also played Smokestack. So it, like, got tons of permanents and then, like, just sacked all the extra.
Was there not, like, a better way to win, or did you need to get, like, rid of some kind of permanent, like? Or is it just because it was cool?
Grind them out.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I mean,
no,
like,
it was good.
I'm trying to think. Like, there's no sacred mesa, I guess. So I'm trying to think. I guess there's no good way to.
You just draw a lot of cards, so you get more permanents.
Yeah,
I think we played Herman in that deck too.
Like Deranged Hermit.
Yeah.
What is the Viridian Enchantress? The 3-mana 2/2 that gets like +1/+1 for each enchantment you have in play. It's like a 7th edition card, but I don't remember what it was originally in.
It was originally... What is that thing?
Maybe it's Yavimaya Enchantress?
Yeah, it is Yavimaya Enchantress. Ding. We need a bell like John. John has a bell on his stream, and every time something great happens, he dings it. Okay, sorry, we're in the second game here. Tim opens with an island. John has island, Lotus Petal. He's got a Merchant Scroll, an Impulse, a Daze, a Gush, and a land.
So John has the Merchant Scroll tech. Is that something that you talked to him about?
Yeah. Okay. He plays 2 Merchant Scrolls. I like Merchant Scroll. It's a one of the hardest things is not getting your Dreadnought, and I like having access. You can go scroll for your Lim-Dûl's Vault and go get a Dreadnought with it.
So yeah, kind of a roundabout way to get the Dreadnought, but yeah, the Lim-Dûl's Vault would be the target.
He's gonna Daze that looter. He's got a second scroll. I would have cracked an Impulse, I think. Just crack the.
I guess I mean like yeah, I was gonna say like a lot of times it doesn't feel worth using a Lotus Petal for a card like that, but the Stiflenought deck doesn't need its extra mana that well. So like like if you're not powering out the Dreadnought right away, like it'd be fine to just use your mana that turn, I think. So.
The Grunch, that's what we used to call him. The Grunch has a Waterfront Bouncer in play, which is a super critical card in this matchup.
Yeah. It seems pretty good to bounce a Dreadnought. I think I would discard a card to do that.
Yeah. Every turn?
Yeah, I mean, if John's going to try and play it every turn, then sure.
Gilded Drake Waterfront Bouncer.
Did you know that this guy has been errated to be a Merfolk?
Yeah. I have a Merfolk deck. He got 4 in my deck.
He does not. Just looking at the art, he does not look very Merfolky.
He doesn't, but he has blue skin.
So, okay.
Which is,
I guess.
I don't know if I'm good with that.
And the Aquamoeba's in play.
Grunch has 0 forests in play.
That is one of the things that's the Madness deck usually struggle with, and also like adding survival kind of puts a strain on wanting additional green mana. So it'll be interesting to see how if the mana is a problem for Tim throughout this tournament.
How do you feel about players who keep their creatures in the red zone the entire game?
So it's one thing like it bothers me a little, but like I understand it. But I'm one who actually keeps my lands like really far back. Like and most people just don't do that. Like I think this is the norm, is just like they have their lands so far out. So there's not really anywhere. There's not much more play mat for the cards to go. But
yeah.
Are you a hater?
I would have respected the zones that we put in to the area, you know.
All right, we got Impulse.
I love a deck that plays most of its stuff during my opponent's unstep.
Okay, so which one's the eyeing up and which one's his hand? I can't even tell.
That's his Impulse.
Okay. I'm trying to tilt my head like it's gonna give me a better angle looking at it, but I'm looking at a computer screen, so I don't think that'll change anything.
Just, it's tempting to try to look over their shoulder, isn't it?
Yes.
Foil in hand, another Lando. John took the Plague Spitter out of our board, and I bet he wishes he had it now.
He took what out?
The Plague Spitter I had on the board. He's gonna Merchant Scroll for Lim-Dûl's Vault. Now who's the reader?
I guess I could bring this up again. Do you think this is like one of the cards that probably takes, on average, the longest to resolve in the format?
Yes. This card's just a joy to play. If you've ever played a Lim-Dûl Belt, just throw one in your blue-black deck. Play one in Commander.
Yeah, that would just even more possibilities.
Is it banned? No, it can't be banned.
I have no idea.
I've never seen anybody play it in Commander, though. It's got to be played in Commander, though.
We got the real Captain Wacky coming in, cheering for J-Bro.
Nice. Oh, I see, there's a good note in the chat. There were lots of Saprozan creatures that were merfolk even back then, but didn't look like merfolk. So maybe the Saprozan people were retconned to be merfolks.
Oh.
And them being the ones with the coves and, ports, maybe they were all made into merfolk for that reason.
All right. John's paying some life to dig deeper with the Lim-Dûl's Vault. Which I think
the first one's free.
Yeah. But, I mean, because the pressure here with 2 Aquamoebas, I mean, it's pretty costly to be, like, flipping those Aquamoebas every turn.
He's not at a huge clock.
Do we have any Saproling lore? Oh, I'm not sure.
Did John just resolve it wrong? He's supposed to leave the 5 on top.
Okay.
And he took 1 and put the other 4 on the bottom. He doesn't know.
I think they notified the judge.
Yeah. This is an easy rewind though.
So they'll get this sitting here.
Is this amazing having live Premodern in front of
Yes.
us? I'm really every about 5 minutes it's like, oh man, I'm just watching Premodern being played.
Yeah. All right, the players are gonna sort things out. They're gonna probably just back things up. But yeah, this is the energy here is really cool. Like I don't know how to describe it because it's like, I don't know if part of it is a COVID thing, but it just so many people that I've known that have played Magic like have that just the excitement to go to a tournament. I mean, like we would go to tournaments when we got older, but it was just kind of it was there and we were chasing something or it was fun to play. But here I feel like the uniqueness of this tournament, like people got excited for it, and that doesn't always come by, and I think it's really cool.
And there's so many dinosaurs in this room, it feels like old PTQ to me.
Yeah. Someone asked, is anyone under the age 30 here at the tournament? I didn't get a good look at the crowd, but I mean, in general, I think we're appealing to the older crowd, but I'll have to see. It would be an interesting fact to see who the youngest player is.
We should have put that on the questionnaire. I should have. Like, how old are you? If you're less than 40, how old are you?
Yes.
It is my good friend Royce Thigpen's 40th birthday today.
Ooh, is he here?
Yes, he is. He's playing. He runs our Magic events at the store, and he's really excited. He loves Premodern. He's built like 4 decks now.
Yeah, we did joke that everyone needed a DCI number to play in our tournament, but
Turbo Growl's in the chat. That does definitely feel like it. A bit. I don't know for sure, but I would bet money on it. I think John does. Isn't this a really easy rewind?
I don't know. I'll just sit back. Well, I get to relax a little, and then we can talk to the chat while they sort these out. So I'm sure they'll get to the point.
What would you have played today, Mike?
I would. I say this a lot. So, like, just going in blind, like, if I wasn't like testing it out, I'd probably just play something like the Rock. I just enjoy that type of deck because I always get to play like games of Magic, and I think like that, like especially if
your opponent.
And like I think that provides for a better game experience. Not that everyone's like obligated to do that. Like you can play your combo decks and have fun with those. But I think if I'm looking to have fun at the tournament, it's probably something like the Rock. So did you have a deck in mind if you were going to play? If you weren't at the booth?
So I was I got some experimental ones that I probably would have just convinced myself to play because I always like tell myself I should be playing this blue black Stiflenought deck, but then I like last month I played the Rock. I love the Rock too. It's pretty. If I like wasn't sure what to play, I would have just played like my Witch Rock deck because I really enjoy playing that deck. Somebody is playing it today too. Somebody with the last minute wanted a deck, and I told them what I had, and they're playing my Witch Rock list. I would say I was thinking about playing. I want to build Snap Hermit. I think.
I do not know what that deck is.
It's like it basically plays Cradles and Snaps and Drain Hermits.
Okay.
And then and Cloud of Fairies, and you play as a survival deck, and you can use it to build like big.
So does the payoff just like put a bunch of squirrels in play and then like kill them that way?
Well, it can kill many ways. You can kill with. Like, the original version had, like, Coat of Arms in it, but it also had Stroke of Genius. I'm not sure why it took so long to rewind this.
Okay, so now we're back in Lim-Dûl's Vault land, so...
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was going to the next 5, I guess.
Now it kind of seems like we're back with a little bit of confusion, but maybe not. Okay. Pain More Life, we're continuing with Lim-Dûl's Vault.
Oh. First Totem. He's keeping that, I bet. That's going to slow the clock down a lot.
And, I mean, like, it is a great way to protect your Dreadnought against the Waterfront Bouncer. So that might have been the card that he might have been really looking for that Cursed Totem.
Yeah.
I didn't get a good look of all the looks that he had with Lim-Dûl's Vault, but I could see that being a card that you are willing to pay some life to try and dig to find.
For sure. The tricky part with Lim-Dûl's Vault is rearranging the 5 cards.
Yeah, like
after, how am I setting up my next several turns?
Yeah, after you go through like of the iterations, you're like, oh, now I finally know I want these 5, and then you have to decide how you want to order it, which is, I mean, really consequential because you're basically planning out the next 5 turns. Yeah. So,
chat brings up a good point. How did that Wild Mongrel turn red when no card was discarded to it?
He's just like channeling his inner, like he's living vicariously through the Aquamoeba. He's like, all right, you got to discard me. I'm gonna change colors.
He's like, I wish I wasn't a Red Green Madness deck.
Yeah. That's something that you played, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you like the list, or is
no? I didn't like my version. Okay. I like something. There were definitely some really good things going on in it, but I think I like the version I saw a couple. I think one person playing, but it might be a couple people playing, which has like Blastoderms and uses the survival as a Fireziov Maya. Okay. More and like leans into that harder.
Okay.
Oh, this is a nice sequence, I think, by John. He set up, he had a Gush in his hand, so he set up his Lim-Dûl's Vault so he'd be able to Mox Diamond. Okay. Off the top, as well as have the Cursed Totem.
I guess that is a nice interaction with the Mox Diamond as the synergy with Gush.
He's going to use the 2 mana to play the Cursed Totem. So you want the address, so you can have it.
Alright, so the Cursed Totem's on the stack. Okay, it looks like Timothy's looking to respond to this. Though, I mean, it wouldn't be unlikely that if this were to resolve that there would be ways for him to remove it. I guess he would need access to green mana, but... Okay, Circular Logic is the answer that he's playing. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, but you know what I call cards my opponent has to remove? Good cards.
Good cards, yes.
So I would assume we're gonna see a foil, John.
Yeah, I get you kind of have to protect this Curse Tome because if you're, yeah, because the Dreadnought comes down, then the Waterfront Bouncer would just bounce it. So
Tim's got one card in hand.
okay, so foil is discarding. So it's discarding the Mox and another.
Yeah,
one,
he chose to get rid of the Mox in the island.
Okay. So
Then he has Merchant Scroll, Lim-Dûl's Vault, Dreadnought in hand.
Okay, so now he's going to Merchant Scroll and he's going to go get the Stifle or Vision Charm. So I guess that is kind of a cool interaction. Is like you have the Lim-Dûl's Vault, and so you put a number of cards you want, and then by the time you've seen the number of cards that you want, then you can shuffle away the remaining, like the worst 5 or 4th or 5th card that you didn't want.
Yeah, see where I'm going with that?
I believe that Swamp is, I would guess Invasion, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think it was, usually I'm careful with what lands I put in. I almost never play that picture, but I randomly grabbed it, and I kind of like the look of it.
A lot of the Invasion ones I do like. I think they're really, who's the artist? Is it Rob Alexander, or I don't know, of those, Ron Spencer maybe, but they're really defined. I like those ones.
Tim's got one card in hand, and I think he just drew Gilded Drake off the top.
Ooh, that one, yeah. Not an activated ability.
Oh my god.
That is quite wonderful. And he does have green mana now too. But here's a Merfolk Looter. I should update life totals.
What a beat.
Yes.
That was brutal.
Well,
unless he has, like, I don't know how many
Gilded Drakes he's playing.
Gilded Drake check. He has one.
Well, you play
That's
one.
why you play one.
Play one so you can draw it. Yeah.
Like I was telling Royce, my friend Royce yesterday, playing one copy of a card in your deck makes you infinitely more likely to draw it. Almost literally.
Yeah.
It's the best gain in percentage.
Yeah, that's true.
Above.
So are you saying that everyone should just play one-ofs?
I think one-ofs are very strong, and especially if you play a lot of card drawing in your deck.
Yeah, different decks will take advantage of playing singletons a lot more than others.
Yeah.
Obviously, with a card like Survival of the Fittest, you can take advantage of it, but just, card draw, or if you expect the game to go long.
Mm-hmm. But even just like, I mean, you have to prepare for a lot of things with the deck. Sometimes having a bunch of one-ofs that are just like dunks on your opponent in your deck for various situations can help a lot. As long as you don't have too many that it bogs down your regular strategy.
All right, so I mean, what can John do at this point?
I think John.
Oh, he can
get his boomerang.
If he wait. I gotta bring up Vision Charm.
He's
So if he phased out Phyrexian Dreadnought, does it come back into play under his control?
I don't know.
I have no idea, but I think that would be his solution to the situation, right?
Hey, Jordan.
Otherwise, like maybe he has to bounce it back.
Should
to
we call a
his hand.
judge?
Yeah.
We can call a judge and bring a judge into the chat.
We'll just wait. I mean, like, we'll see how it's going to happen, and I'm sure the players are going to confirm it if that is the situation. Oh, Chad is saying that no, we know it doesn't trigger enters the battlefield. We're asking if it would go under its controllers, if it would phase back in under the controllers, like would it go under Tim's play or go back to Johnson?
MTG phasing.
There's going to be a long list if you're bringing up those rules.
It's on the wiki.
All All right, looks like we're confirming stuff with Lim-Dûl's Vault again, so it seems to be the problematic card of the match. Chat saying it will remain under control of the current controller. That's not based on the owner.
During each player's untap, so before they untap, all phased out permanents under that player's control phase in. So yeah, it doesn't really exile it.
Okay.
Like a lot of people would think.
So then this is the situation that... Oh,
he's got the boomerang.
Yeah. All right, well... I was going to say he could boomerang his own Gilded Drake, but that actually does go back to Tim's hand.
Yeah. Doesn't he want the boomerang?
Did he just pass on it?
Yeah.
What is his other... What does he have in mind? Maybe like reassembling it.
Maybe he thinks Vision Charm works.
Or maybe he's thinking he's just trying to recombo. But he doesn't have time. He's at 5.
I think he thinks Vision Charm works. He could recombo.
He needs to draw cards. It would need to be like Gush into the combo, right?
But that's not like impossible.
Well, and
it is now.
He's getting to the point where if he's at such a low life total, then the remaining creatures just can do some damage. So
I think Boomerang would have put him in a really good spot.
I don't know, it was really good because
well, he has a 3/3 against 3 guys.
Yeah, but like
the creature's own abilities.
If you block, if Tim just attacks with you, like take a 1/1 and you like Aqua Mew hits you pretty hard. So
he can't activate it.
Oh, he can't activate it. Yeah. All right.
It's 3/1 power creatures versus a 3/3.
So all right. So Tim takes us down. Do we make sure that the Dreadnought went back to Jonathan, or that the Gilded Drake went back to?
I hope so. Those are my Dreadnoughts.
It's okay. We'll get a little insight into maybe how the players are side.
I counted all 4 Dreadnoughts in his deck. So.
Okay.
The end of the game. So why the heck were you getting a Triskelion and a Phyrexian Devourer?
Yeah. So he shows those 2 cards and then the Vorash Shapeshifter. So.
I don't know what to do with it. I'm not worried. I don't know if he's.
Our tech is we have 4 Phyrexian Negators in our board.
Interesting.
So we just like turn in a counter negator after.
Okay, I can see that being good.
Because you don't need to combo it, and your Stifles can stop you from having to sack your board.
Because it's just like one trigger, right? It's not like for each point of damage, it's a separate trigger. Okay.
Yeah,
that's kind of cute.
Can you imagine just attacking in with your negator, and they block with all their creatures, thinking you're gonna lose everything, and
yeah,
that's my magical Christmas land.
All right, so let's just jump back. I guess we can look at our lovely faces. But hi everybody, I'm Michael Heup. I'm here with BK Brian Kowal. So we'll hang out with a little bit, and then I'll probably go on break. I have some tech stuff that I want to try and set up that I didn't do in advance, but I'll have some slides of some commonly played pre-modern decks that I think I intend to have up. But
as seen on Twitter.
Yes. I did do a lot more, and I didn't even finish all the ones that I wanted to. So there are a lot of pre-modern decks, and
so many pre-modern decks.
Yes, so. All right, so now we have a little bit of time to catch our breath. We didn't really get an introduction prior to that match, so I guess I kind of want to talk about like this tournament. So I guess what kind of inspired you to think that a pre-modern tournament in paper would work? Like, is it just like a pipe dream, or like I guess were you expecting a huge turnout, or was it just what was your intention and how did it develop, kind of thing?
Well, I've been really getting into the pre-modern. I love the format, and I've just been like jamming decks a lot and like building decks, getting my friends to play it, and getting people at the store to play it. And I just wanted to make it happen. It's kind of like let's build it and see what happens. So I decided I just really wanted to get a pre-modern tournament going, and get some live coverage of it. And I just happen to know a lot of old Magic players who also have a lot of emotional connection to a lot of the cards of this. Like this is kind of like these are the decks like a lot of people learn to play with, like if you're older and like, or they're boogeymen that they remember, you know, or just like road spiking tournaments with. So it's I think it's drawn in a lot of drawn in a lot of people who have even stopped playing Magic.
Yeah, I'm surprised at least the people that I know from the Madison area, like I'm not aware that they've been following the format. I would be surprised if they have been, but because I haven't heard them talk about it at all. But like, I think they're like genuinely excited to like play in this type of tournament. There's a lot of nostalgia, and it's just an interesting opportunity that I think a lot of them are excited to play in.
Yeah, I want to do another one in June, so that's what I'm looking for the next one. Because wow, 47. What a turnout.
It was quite good. So, chat, I just want to check. I have my streaming software is talking about me dropping frames. Have there been any issues on your end viewing? Have there been any tech issues or sound issues, or has everything been pretty good? Just started now. Okay.
Just started dropping frames.
Well, that's what chat is telling me, but my notifications made it sound like it's been a little choppy. Okay. All right. Well, I will possibly try and look into that, but I guess if it's not a huge issue, then maybe we'll just leave it. So. All right. So is there anything else you want to kind of add right now? Otherwise, I think we'll probably go on break before we get things set up for round 2.
Get the technical stuff hammered out.
Yep. So
no, I'm just stay tuned and read up on these great deck. I really like the summaries you wrote up for all these. And if you haven't played Premodern, this is gonna be a great spot for you just to see what is very popular in the format.
All right, so we're going to go on our Be Right Back screen, and then I will try and get things set up. But we will see you back for the next round. I think we started the round around 10 or 15 minutes after the hour, so I think we're probably getting close to our round end. So I don't think it'll be that much time before we will be back on air, or we'll be back covering the round 2. So we will see you soon, so don't go anywhere. We thank everyone for hanging out, but we will be right back.